Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be Classic and Shin in a Patreon cast. For those of you who support me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month, you get to see this a month before anybody else. So if you're watching this the week of May 2nd, 2024, thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. And if you're watching this in late May 2024, or maybe in June or after that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here 5 or 6 times a week with StarCraft 2 content. Bottom right, it's going to be Shin, formerly known as Ragnarok. And in the top left, it's going to be Classic from the Twisted Clan. All right, man. So, just going for a 16 hatch here, a little bit early. There's no hatch block because the probe was sent out later. The Overlord sees the probe and says, okay, thanks for not trying to hatch block me. I appreciate it, but the rush distance on Oceanborn is a little bit too long for that. Good times indeed. So Gateway expand timing here from Classic, Assimilator coming up, Gateway warping in, gas, and then pool here from Shin. So it's a standard opening for both of these players. And if you do not care for standard openings, holy smokes. There was a Midrank Madness game that I posted a couple of days ago if you're watching this as a Patreon. And if you're watching this not as a Patreon, it was a month ago. It was, let's see, it was Python. Right? So Python, a Zerg player versus something Cannons was their name. On Post Youth, which is a weird map for weird games. It was, man, so exciting. So check it out if you haven't. All right, well, nothing crazy here, right? Overlord comes in, sees we're getting a Cyber Core, sees the expansion on the way. It's an Adept, going to check for a lair timing, etc., etc. We know how this thing works. Metabolic boost on the way. Third hatch going to be, you know, nowish. This is why the probe was checking for that. Ling's heading out across the map. Another set. It's going to escort this drone down here so that the possibility of getting a third base is nice. And not even going to try to throw down a pylon here. Just going to go ahead and allow that to happen here at about 240. Yeah, about 239. Not about 239. That's exactly 239. Been trying to do better with this. Stargate on the way. Yeah, nothing crazy. Got an Oracle coming in. Oracle name is from Yannick. Name is Clairvoid. Clairvoid is not your typical Oracle from the Protoss fleet. While most Oracles are revered for their precision and prophetic insights, Clairvoid is known across the galaxy for his slightly off predictions. Born in the Golden Spires of Ire, Clairvoid quickly distinguished himself in the Templar archives not for his accuracy, but for his enthusiastic misinterpretations of ancient prophecies. So this is like another 3 paragraphs. But basically what happens here is, in one famous battle, Clairvoid foresaw the ground itself would rise to smite the enemy. Minutes later, a misplaced Psystorm from a nearby High Templar caused a series of small hills to erupt, flinging Zerg units into the air, much to the amusement and advantage of the Protoss forces. There you go. Alright, so if you want the whole thing, I'll put it in the description of this video as 2 drones go down to the first Oracle. There's another Oracle that's already out and another one on the way. 3 Oracles, pretty standard stuff here. In this opening, just tries to keep the Zerg player honest, get some spores up, get some queens out, force them to pay attention to something other than just droning, right? Yeah, this Overlord's gonna die, but he knew he was gonna die. He's not even really worried about it, right? Right. So what do we got? Creep spread, pushing. Creep spread continuing to push. And everything's okay. Nothing too weird yet. If we make another Oracle, that's going to be weird. But nah. Instead, we're going to toss down Twilight Council Forge, whether that's going to be for Resonating Glaives, possibly for charge here too, but based on the extra gas here, probably not a charge lot style play. That third base is warping in from Classic. Very safe thanks to the 3 Adepts who live here. And all's well. All is well on both sides of the map here. I think both players are feeling pretty comfortable about where they are here at 450. This is from the GSL Season 2 2024 qualifiers. And I figured both these players are kind of second-tier players, right? Nobody here is amazing. Oh, gosh. Drones. 6 drones go down to the Oracles as they swing into that natural base. Yeah, I mean, a queen and a spore is not really enough to save the day, unfortunately. You want 2 queens and a spore, or maybe 2 spores and a queen, something like that. But we are loath to make more than 1 spore per base, generally. There's not even a spore at this 3rd base. For Shin. Shin's like, nah, I just am going to have queens here. It'll be fine. A bunch of lings out, but not much for them to do. Right? I mean, I guess they're checking for proxies, maybe trying to swing it from an unexpected way, get into this natural base, but there's a stalker holding that wall. It's Blink. Oh. It's not, I mean, Blink was my last choice for upgrades from this Twilight Council. I was thinking Resonating Glaives at the very least, but I guess Blink does kind of have more utility as the game goes on, right? Like, Charge is good for all ends at the start of the game, so is Resonating Glaives, but Blink's just good all the time. Blink's just a good thing to have for aggression. It's great for defense, too. Pretty much the entire game. Aspire getting fired up here from Shin. Ooh, maybe Shin's going to try to go Mutalisks against this 1 Stargate, 0 Phoenix opening from Classic. That could be good. Creep spreading. Creep spreading. 4th base coming up down here from Shin. Lings checking to make sure there's nobody coming down this way for any kind of attack, and Classic's moving out. He's going to try to get some Blinkstalker Adept shenanigans here. A little bit of Oracle support here, too. Oracle's setting up shop. They're going to throw down some Revelation on Creep Tumors, maybe. God, these Lings. Not really enough, man. There's a shield battery here. Maybe you could jump on the shield battery. I don't know. Okay, yeah, Revelation does get tossed down. Lings trying to jump on this Nexus. No, they all die without really accomplishing much of anything. Stasis Ward gets tossed down, but only 1 drone is caught in it. Nicely done. Well played by Shin. And it is Los Mutalisks. Okay, so it is going to be Mutalisks. Popping out here. Storm's on the way. Blinkstalkers exist. Do you need some Phoenix against 6 Mutas and 10 Roaches? He's not going crazy on Mutas. This is not an attempt to rogue this thing where you make 100,000 Mutalisks, right? Okay, Phoenix is getting fired up. I do not know what Classic saw there, but he caught a whiff of Mutalisks out in the sky and said, nuh-uh. No siree. Alright, yeah, Stalker's ready for these Mutas. Shield Battery ready for the Mutas again. I just know. Just no. It's just a no here, right? Phoenix against Mutalisks. Really tough fight for Mutas to win unless this happens. Unless the Phoenix isn't quite watching. It takes a lot of direct hits to the face, and then the Mutas are like, wait, we got this. Alright, here we go. Roachling Ravager attack. Storm is done. Great Storm dodging, though. Honestly, pretty great Storm dodging. And is that it for Storm? Yeah, it's going to force these Archons to turn, or High Templar to turn into Archons. Shield Battery, no. Oracle trying to burn down these Ravagers as much as it can. Maybe a lift here from the Phoenix would be nice, too. Yeah, the ground forces, I think, are going to get cleared up, although reinforcing Stalkers are coming in here, which is really nice. The Roaches are very injured. But it looks like a Blink to the high ground is going to abandon this base for Classic with a very nice Ling Roach Ravager timing here. Hang on. He's coming down. He's going to try to save it. More Roaches are coming on in. The Oracles are just going to town, man. That's an 18-kill Oracle, one of them here. Still, Roaches keep pouring in. That's a definitely dead Nexus. You might have killed a lot of Roaches. Because you did. 21 of them have died. But that 4th base is toast. Maybe a little bit aggressive there. Roaches try to get that Immortal. One more volley. Yes, they got the Immortal. That was their goal. They could die as long as the Immortal's dead. And the Roaches are like, okay, we've just knocked Classic back to 3 bases. I think we're okay with this. Gonna get a Hydralisk Den. Gonna get an Infestation Pit. Maybe turn some of these Roaches into Ravagers would be cool. Just, you know, it's an instant heal up is what it is. Yeah, it costs money to turn it into a Ravager, but it's a major upgrade from the Roach, and plus they get all their HP back. So, like, keep that in mind. Anyway, more Immortals being produced here from Classic, double pumping them out of a double robo-base scenario, and yeah, it just makes Hydras that much better if there are more Immortals out here. That said, the High Templar count is 2, so there will be some Storms available soon. Not really going back into Mutalisks here, and not overproducing Phoenix either as Classic, so both players are reading the situation pretty well. I'm okay with what both of these players are doing at the moment. Classic goes, okay, so 4th base up here maybe, a little bit easier to defend. As this Ling says, well, what if I find it? And then what if we come murder it? Bleh. Yeah, man, look at this army. It's like, well, can we get over there? We got some Hydras now. Talking amongst themselves. Lurker Den on the way. Okay, Lurker Den on the way. Hive researching here too. Yeah, the Hydras will chase away, catch a revelation for their trouble. Lings continue to pop in to make sure this wasn't a fake Nexus, I guess. Ooh, it's a fleet beacon. Okay, cool. So we're going to see carriers here in this PvZ. Classic's pretty good at it. No, phone, I was not talking to you. Get out of here. Thanks. I don't know why the phone thought I said. Whatever. Cancel. That's funny. Anyway, Hydra, Ling, Roach, no Ravagers. Maybe you're going to fire up some Lurkers here at some point. I feel like it'd be okay. So the Immortal count is hefty. There are 7 of them out with 2 more on the way. Yeah, these guys try to poke in. No, these guys try to poke in. Stasis catches all of the Lings except for like 4. Tries to poke in again. Eats a Storm. Yeah, a Roach army against a Stalker Storm Immortal army? No, what are you trying to do? Absolutely not. Shin's got a 5th base up here down at the 6 o'clock-ish. Are you seriously going? Oh, good stasis. He went for it and got stasis for his trouble. His Lings, 3 of them die, but some of them get out, which is nice. Keeping Lings alive is sort of important, and it's really hard to do. Carrier's on the way. As Lurkers are being made, yeah, I mean, again, this might just be a situation where Classic's like, I don't want to have to deal with Lurkers. We're just going to make Carriers instead. How's that sound? It's like, oh, yeah, that's a good way. Good way not to have to worry about Lurkers at all. I mean, this is just... Shin does not know this is happening. Shin does not know carriers are on the way. He hasn't scouted. The upgrades are 2-1. Okay, this is... Nice little concave high ground setup here for Classic. That is not bad at all. Storming it up. Storming it up. Lurkers. Whoa. More stasis wards up here, high ground. Carriers have to reveal themselves? They do. The carriers reveal themselves. They come down to the battle. Overseer sees them. Overseer dies for it. And Shin says more Hydras. Okay. I mean, I don't know about this one. Yeah. Storm. The Hydras would kill everything here except for the fact that there's Storm available. So, I mean, Classic's covering all the bases here. Oh, Lurker Spines. Immortals are getting wrecked by those Lurker Spines. Good golly, Miss Molly. Storm on the Lurkers. The Hydras are trying to help out. Oh, more Immortals keep showing up, and they're taking Spines to the face. The distance with the Seismic Spines upgrade on this is so good. Got a couple charge lots running down, catching some reinforcing Hydras. That's a pretty sweet move. Staying out of range of the Lurks. Shin pulls back. And the Stalkers are like, no, man, you don't get to pull back. Oh, these Zealots, though. What the heck? Okay, they get obliterated, but they did some good work. Absolutely, positively. 12 Corruptors are on the way. Spines coming up. And creep spread has been a little bit anemic. A lot of tumors have died, though. Classic's done a pretty good job of dealing with that. Yeah, Classic's going the hybrid, right? Going Immortals, High Templar, Stalkers. Maybe a couple Archons would be cool if you're dealing with Corruptors here. And the Carriers. Let's not forget about the Carriers. They're important to this whole thing, too. So Shin's got Corruptors out. He's got Lurkers. Does he have Adrenal for the Lings? He does not have Adrenal for the Lings. Tragically. They really don't have good upgrades either. He's got +2 missile attack, and that's it. That is all the upgrades that Shin has right now. He's not working on any others either. I mean, meanwhile, Classic's firing up what? +3 ground attack, +2 ground armor, +2 air attack too. I mean, just Much better upgrades than Shin is rolling with here. This feels like Classic. Just might win this thing with just sheer upgrade advantage alone. Dude, walking into that choke with all those lurkers concentrating their fire there? No. Classic says, okay, no, you're right. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Trying to get 5th base at where the 4th base used to be. We'll see if that holds. Storm it up, baby. Corruptor's flyer on the backside like, oh, you stormed over there? You don't have enough storms over here. Where are the Archons? Where is the storm? Nothing is protecting these carriers. They have to recall, and they do, but they lost the vast majority of that. 4 carriers died there. Beautiful little flank there from Shin. That could have gone really disastrously for the Zerg player here, but instead he takes the high ground here. I mean, by the high ground, he's kind of winning this game. Another carrier. Got to chase it. You have to chase that. That is absolutely a canceled Nexus, without a doubt. This Archon Immortal army, now there are some Archons here, but it's 120 to 80 supply in favor of Shin. And Shin, I think very smartly, I was going to say very smartly pulls back. No, he doesn't. Actually, storms it up. My gosh. All right. Hydra's doing all sorts of work here. Ugh. Lurkers stabbing away at everything. Classic's on the back foot. Never a good feeling. The heck is killing probes? Are these just probes like transferring somewhere? I don't know. 6 probes just died. I don't think, man, getting a lurker back here would be pretty tough with all of these cannons. Yeah, 107 to 65 army supply. This is brutal. The brutality here. Okay, burrows in. Stasis catches some of the units. Corruptors going after the final carrier. It's the final carrier. Shield battery overcharge says, nah, we're going to stay alive. Ooh, snipes down an obs there, but another obs does exist. Oh, this lurker setup is just so tough to deal with. Is there a stasis lurker there? That's interesting. Yeah, no. Immortals are good here, but the Hydro lurker support together is too strong. A bunch of zealots try to charge on top of this. They melt almost immediately, but they do buy time for the Immortals to jump in on the top. Okay. All right. That went a little bit better for Classic. 83 to 65 army supply in favor of the Zerg. He's firing up a greater Spire, more Corruptors, more Hydras, more Lings. Again, not giving these Lings support. They do not have an attack or an armor upgrade. Okay, they're working on Ground Carapace. That's that Flyer Carapace. No Adrenal. No Adrenal for these Lings. If you're going to make this many Lings, you have to give them Adrenal. I know you don't have a ton of gas. I know you're spending it on Broodlords right now, and Lurkers and Hydras, and all this is really gas intensive. But if you're going to be sending these little groups of Lings around, you have to give them Adrenal. Even if they're 0-0, giving them Adrenal is going to be wonderful. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, these... Okay, they're going to kill this even without any upgrades, which is nice. Things are okay in that situation, I guess. But yeah, Classic's on 4 bases. He's been trying to get a 5th base for some time, and it's not working out for him. Shin's on 6 bases. Do we get the income tab? We do. That has been favoring Shin highly a lot. For the last, for the last 10 minutes, there's not just a smidgen of blue on that graph. It is all Shin for the last 10 minutes of the game, and it's only an 18-minute game. So, I mean, that feels like it's really set up for a nice, super late game scenario here, as 18 minutes in modern ZVP is about super late game. Yeah, these 0-0 Lings are just killing me. They're killing me, man. Alright. Not really enough Corruptors to do this. It's only 1 carrier, but the problem is there are Archons around. So maybe you could... Oh, free Oracle. That was maybe Clairvoid. I don't know. Maybe Caustic Spray down this thing? Imagine if Stasis worked on air units too. Yeah, he's going to try to Caustic Spray it down. He's going to get about 3 seconds of Caustic Spray and then have to retreat. Because good response time there from Classic for sure. Okay, so Shin's maxed out. Classic's at 150 supply. 82 Zerg workers on this map is a butt ton of the workers, man. Infestors have been produced here for a bit. Microbial Shroud might be part of this, as more carriers are joining the party. There was 1 for a minute, and now there's 4. And Classic's 5th base comes up successfully. Shin doesn't really mount any kind of an attack to deal with it. So it is going to be Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor here. And Lurker, I guess. How many Lurkers are on the field? 4. I don't know if they're going to be moved out here. Shin's going to try to expand up this right side, but that's a canceled hatch. If ever I have seen one in my entire life. If ever I've seen one in my entire life. Like, holy smokes. Alright, see you later, alligator. Stasis. These probes are like, let us out. We want to go mine somewhere else. And the Lings are like, no. If we're in stasis, we're going to provide some value for Shin. Oh, both players trying to expand to this right side. That's fun. Going to fight over that. Hey, man. Setting up for maybe a little fungal broodlord type thing here. There we go. Abduct, abduct, abduct. Storm is up. Broodlords retreating from it. Corruptors dealing with the carriers pretty effectively. No. Can't finish that off. Fungal does go down on the carriers here. Oh, there we go. There's another Broodlord. Yeah, man. Broodlords are dying here, but they're getting some pretty good value here as well. Just completely chasing this out of here. Interceptors getting massacred as well by the Corruptors in the sky. 10 more Corruptors being produced. It's like, it's just basically, it's Immortals and it's Carriers right now. I think Corruptors and Broodlords are going to be just fine in this scenario. Tempest's under production. This might be a situation where Classic didn't quite read the situation correctly. I don't think he knew about these Broodlords, man. I really don't. All right, Broodlords firing down, Lings jumping in, and this is going for it from Shin. Big time going for it from Maneuver. Everything on the ground dies. The Corruptors going freely after the Carriers now. All that can save them and maybe shield battery, cannon type stuff. And yeah, it is saving this Carrier for now. On the other side, these Zealots are kind of having a great time. Just going to absolute town on those poor drones. 19 drones have died. But if that Nexus dies, I mean, look at these Corruptors. They're really trying to kill these Carriers, man. And in fairness, I think the upgrades are better. It's a +1 flyer, sir. Against +3 attack for these Carriers. So not the best upgrades from Classic either here. So 32 probes died. For a minute there, Classic had a worker lead, which was nice. It's gone now. By golly, do these Lings not have Adrenal. Not even close. But Lurker Ling going to do pretty well. Shield battery overcharge does pop. Keeps these guys alive for just a minute, but this is it. Classic is done. The Skyzer gets the win. Shin comes out on top here in a game that I kind of felt like I expected Classic to win. I like what Shin is capable of, but Classic, I think he took a game off of Rogue, I want to say a while ago. So I just figured he would be able to handle Shin today, but nope. I think it was the surprise Broodlords. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because, yeah, our guy made a Tempest. 2 Tempests showed up, and 2 Tempests died. The income tab was just too Zerg favored for this to really be a Classic win today. Getting this base canceled, it's tough. It is tough to keep up when you don't kill any bases today for the Zerg at all. No hatcheries died. 29 drones died, but most of those at the end of the game, and it didn't really matter. Also, 61 probes died too, so that's a bigger number for the Protoss, absolutely. So good abducts, good fungals, good Broodlord targeting there. I like that he went 6 mutas and was like, this isn't working, and bailed on it. I'm very impressed by that. That is not easy to do. Not easy to admit you made a wrong choice and then get out of it. But yeah, GG. And no Adrenal either. He lost, my gosh, 300 Zerglings died today. And none of them had the beautiful benefit of having adrenal glands. It makes me sad. I guess they had +2 attack, though. It's better than nothing, I suppose. And look, the Zerg player got the win. What am I complaining about, right? Right. All right. That was fantastic. That was a really, really, really good ZVP for a Patreon game. That was amazing. Way to go. Way to go. All right. So, bam. That is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.